Freiburger and Mike Finnegan have built a television empire and a cult following based on a bunch of bad ideas, but when they came up with the idea for Roadkill Nights 5 years ago, they tapped into a stroke of genius that continues to grow today into something beyond even their wildest dreams. How proud are you guys of what this has become in just a short 5 years?
Well, other than my kids and wife, this is the thing I'm most proud of. I can't believe that two idiots made a YouTube show, and now it's on the Motorsport channel, and now we have all these people here hanging out, drag racing on Woodward Avenue. It's awesome.
And now it's not just one day, it's two.
Yeah, for the first time we had the sort of pre-party right here at M-1 Concourse last night, and it was a turnout of about 2,000 people and a couple hundred cars and some hellacious burnouts, and it was really good. So I think we're going to stick with that in the future too.
Mike, you use the term idiots, so I'm gonna go there for just a minute. The chasm between genius and idiocy would seem to be great. How have you guys managed to bridge that gap?
Well, we're not professionals at building cars, and the audience knows that, and I think the reason the show works is we show everything, warts and all. We're just going to have fun with what we can accomplish in a given amount of time with a given amount of money, and if it's not perfect, who cares, And I think that's why all these people are out here, is they can relate to that.
Dave, do you think that's where the sweet spot lies for Roadkill?
It really is, actually. I mean, I think we broke the wall of just, being average dudes that people were able to relate to. It's what it comes down to. And to me, one of the greatest things about Roadkill is when little kids come up to us and they're like, I love your show, I've seen everyone. And a parent will tell us, yeah, we got into cars because our kid showed us the show. And I just think that's neat.
I think that's interesting because you talk to some people in the hobby and they feel like, oh, maybe the classic car hobby or whatever the hobby may be is dwindling or it's going to run its course. Where do you think the hobby stands in that regard, especially when you talk about young kids that are attracted to your show?
Well, there's going to be 40,000 people here today. What does that tell you about the state of the gearhead world? I see a lot of news media that says kids aren't interested in cars anymore, and I think that's true out at the coasts. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy very much, but you go to the Midwest, you come to Detroit, kids are still hardcore gearheads. It's going to continue.
Could this work somewhere else, Roadkill?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you mean the event, Roadkill Nights? Oh, yeah. Like, I would love to see this in Vegas or somewhere. I would love to race down Las Vegas Boulevard in a crappy old car. So, if someone important out there is watching this, make that happen.
I always feel like I discover it's a dumb idea when I'm faced with the result of my idea to begin with. You guys seem to start with a dumb idea and it comes up end up being pretty good. How have you managed to do that?
Well, it's perspective. Like, the only dumb ones are the ones you don't try. No matter how it goes, as long as you can find enjoyment in what you're doing, then it doesn't matter how it turns out.
Have you ever had an idea and you thought, no, we just can't do that?
Oh, every single episode. Yeah. It drives Mike nuts because he's much more of a, let's just do it and it'll be fine. And I'm much more of a, well, this isn't going wrong yet. It's got to go wrong in order to be good. And it always ends up going wrong and it always ends up being pretty good.
Yeah, there's a point in every episode where, just some of us just get a little worried that, we don't have an episode, and he's right. I'm usually the one like, just wait, the car will break. They always do. And usually they do, but we've had a couple episodes where we basically toured the country and nothing happened.
And they are our flop episodes for sure, yeah. But we still had fun.
Yeah. So people are waiting for the disaster then? That's the hook, you think?
Well, I think they want to see us suffer because they want to see how we react to it. And in general, we find some fun in suffering, and because at the end of the day, we're not shoveling manure here. We're playing with cars. So
one of the greatest things I think we ever did was actually Roadkill Nights 2 years ago when we blew up his Hemi at Milan and ended up rebuilding the Hemi on a picnic bench at Milan and then bringing it out here and blowing it up again and then rebuilding it in one of the garages at M1 before we raced here. So it's that cycle of failure and success and failure and success. And the thing is, at the end of the episode, you don't know if it's ending with the success or ending with the failure.
Do you think you guys have reached your limits yet, or are there others boundaries you can push?
Oh, no, I will never run out of things I want to try with cars. So, yeah, this could go forever, or at least until our joints give out on us,
Yeah, time is the big problem, but we have a non-stop list of ideas. It's just whether we can execute them.
Yeah, there's stuff on that list that just keeps getting bumped to next year and next year and next year, and we haven't done it yet. Just, time or resources.
But then some of them happen. Like the idea about trading a car every single day has been going on since the beginning, and we just did it at Hot Rod Power Tour.
We did finally do that.
We started out with one car and then traded it every single day for 5 days throughout the event.
And it was amazing because it was the most random assortment of cars. Like we started out in a 4-door Maverick, and then we ended up in a Jeep J10, and then we ended up in a Pontiac Fiero that was lifted, and we ended up in a Fox body Mustang. And how do you predict being able to trade a Maverick and all those weird cars? You know, every day was a new adventure. It was awesome.
Did you hear that kid ended up running 1258 with that car? He put an 8.8 in it and raced it at 1250s. Yeah.
But what is the highlight of the weekend for you guys?
For me here at Roadkill Nights, 100% it's when they do burnouts in the Top Fuel funny car and dragster right on the street. I just think that's awesome. I love the racing on Woodward completely, everything about it. We had a great time when we did it in our own cars. We'll do that again this afternoon. But a professional NHRA Top Fuel dragster going down Woodward Avenue, highlight of my life.
How about you, Mike?
For me, this is the one event of the year where we are able to completely connect with our fans. You know, this is all about them. We're not doing anything but hanging out, and so none of the other events I do can I just walk around and hang out and meet people. And so I love the burnouts, I love the racing, but this is the best opportunity to come hang out and, you know, meet Freiburger.
And does the fact that the people have the hunger for it make it worthwhile for you two? There's such a thirst for all things automotive here?
Oh yeah, you can't have bad days when you know all of these people are so excited about $200 cars. You know, like you know, no matter how much you're suffering or sweating or bleeding or whatever, like they get excited. You know, at the most random collection of crap you've ever seen. It makes me happy.
Well, at some point in your life, we've all driven a beater, right? We kind of all started there somewhere, so that it takes you back to your automotive roots in some ways, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we build junk. One of my mottos among many is great parts on bad cars. Look at what we're sitting here. It's a 68 Charger that I traded for a set of cylinder heads, and it was on a bunch of episodes, but ultimately it's powered by a brand new Hellcat engine. And it's still garbage, but it's a 707 horsepower piece of garbage, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, like that is the world's worst Dodge Charger. There is not a straight piece of metal on that entire car, and it drives like crap, and it makes me so happy. And
we were here racing his car around the road course at M-1 Concourse last weekend for our show, and me and another guy who's on a separate show with us, Steve Dulcich, were standing watching, and we were having the time of our lives watching his Charger, because it just looks so radical going around the track, and it's junk.
yeah, it's not fast.
It's not fast
at all.
But it
it's
looks
a lot of
amazing.
fun.
Yeah.